Good morning, guys. Today I'm going to take this Kohler toilet, restore it, and donate it to Habitat for Humanity. You know, I always see those lawn care guys, they go through and they do something really good, you know. They clean up somebody's yard, they post the video, people watch, and, you know, it helps support their ventures, but they're really doing good in the world. I feel like these media platforms can do good in the world. They take up a lot of time sometimes, but all in all, it all depends on how you use it. I take these crocodile disinfectant wipes to start and get this thing cleaned up. This one's been sitting outside for a little bit, so that's why it's like this. You can see that we have a bit of rust buildup here, so hopefully we can get that off. Really like these wipes here. They're not sponsored or anything, but I picked these up at Home Depot. These ones are actually a disinfectant. In the trade, you know, plumbing, you definitely want to stay protected. You don't want to bring anything back home with you. They're pretty big, you know, they've got a wide area, and sometimes I use them to clean up my arms too. I have some that are not disinfectant, and those work pretty good too. By you liking this video, sharing it, you're going to help me provide more content like this. I'd really appreciate it. Hopefully at the end of this toilet is nice and clean. If it's not, then, well, I don't want to give them bad stuff, so we'll get that figured out. But I'm sure somebody could use it. And if you know somebody locally that can use it, well, then they can have it too. I'm gonna bring this guy out. You know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and just hose this thing down, actually. I like this cart here from Harbor Freight. It does a good job. I usually use it for water heaters, but it's definitely made my life easier. Locking the wheels, making sure this thing doesn't roll anywhere. Raising it up to a nice level. Let's see what we can do right here. We got a spot. Right here I have a scouring pad. Picked this one up at Home Depot on the way out. Can you see? Let's see how that goes. I must have moved it. Moving on to the other side. Okay. I'll be right back. Okay, now I'm going to take the tank off so I can access everything there. That's where most of the rebuild's going to take place. All right. And we're going to be very careful with this. Beautiful. This is what I can take off with a regular rag. And check out the scouring stick. Oh, yes. All right, let's go ahead and get this out. This is my favorite screwdriver right here. I love it. It's great for HVAC. You know, you have your Phillips, your flathead, thermostat screwdriver, Schrader core screwdriver, and then you have a nut driver, which the other side has 2 nut drivers here, and you got your 1/4 inch and your 3/8. Snaps in and up. So I use it a lot. This is my go-to screwdriver. So when you're pulling off a seat cover, you want to go ahead and hold the bottom. You can unthread the bottom and you can spin the top. Once it's loose, you can just unspin it at the bottom. Let's see. We'll go ahead and save that. Time to clean the inside. Give this a good disinfecting. And let this stuff sit. What I like about the scouring pad is it really gets off these hard water spots. As far as I can tell, it doesn't damage the porcelain. All right, time to clean the bottom. Let's see here. I think we're gonna come back to this. Let's go get something there. In the meantime, I'm gonna make sure everything sits in a disinfectant. What's in here? Forgot to record. Right here. Okay, all right. Okay. Okay. Next, we're gonna disassemble this and clean it out. Okay. Right here, you've got a nut on the bottom. This holds the flush valve in. So, here's the fill valve. And the handle. Handle has reverse threads. Righty-loosey. And there you have it. Tank is deconstructed. Got a little bit of wax from the install. This is the main reason why I wanted to stop on the bottom of that toilet, because I know we're gonna need this scouring pad to get the hard water off of here. All right. Well, this thing just disintegrated. So get that rust off. You guys have any ideas for getting that off? Let me know. Let's try Magic Razor. I do not trust when it is opened. And here we go. And we'll take one of these. Mr. Clean. The next items that need to be installed are the fill valve and the flush valve. In the center hole here, you have your flush valve. The left-hand hole here, you're going to have your toilet fill valve. On the right, you can see that this Kohler is what was original. If you saw the part where I was taking this stuff out, we will replace that a little bit later. Or we might not. We'll see. Okay. First off, you want to use some plumber's grease. You want to make sure that the grease is designed for plumbing, because you do not want to have any issues down the line. Certain greases can actually damage your plumbing system. All right, so we're going to grease up both of those fittings. First thing I'm going to install is the flush valve. They call it a flush valve because your toilet handle, your lever, you pull and it's going to flush. And once you let go, the water rushes past and kind of holds this up. And once it eventually empties, it drops. So here we go. Okay, I'll start the nut at the bottom here. And I'm going to make it a little bit easier on me. Check the camera angle. Good. Okay. So, when installing the flush valve, we're going to go ahead and angle this out of the way. All right, so we can look back here, make sure the internal is not in the way, and we'll give it a good tightening. I'm gonna support the item inside, excuse me, and I'm gonna squeeze that pretty tightly. If you have good grip, you might be able to do it by hand. Otherwise, you can carefully grab a pair of channel locks and tighten it. All right. The next item going in is going to be your fill valve. The fill valve's job is to detect how much water is in the tank and bring it up to whatever specified level it's at. You can see right here, there is a portion that says water level. We can adjust that, and you can pull it up and down and twist it to lock it. Twist it to unlock it, up, down. All right, be very careful when adjusting this. You do want to make sure that it is locked into place, otherwise you can end up with some serious problems. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and put this into the tank and tighten it down. As for orientation, you want it to face your flush valve. So generally speaking, they're facing this way. And once we fill it, we can adjust it. I'll probably set this one kind of low. That way, you know, they don't have any issues with it. They can go ahead and increase the amount of water that they're gonna need, but I do not want it overfilling on them, because if it overfills, it's gonna go through your overflow here. And that can be problematic. It can be a waste of water if nobody knows about it, so on and so forth. Kohler. Every Kohler toilet that I've seen, they've had a special tank to bowl gasket. Usually what you see is some version of this here. So you want to make sure that when you're doing a Kohler, you have the right part. They do make aftermarket parts, but I got the genuine Kohler. What's going on there? Okay, let's go ahead and make sure that we have these bolts ready to stick underneath. Okay, those do not go on yet. Next, you're gonna have your fill valve here, and make sure it's lubricated. Stick it through this hole and tighten. Oh, there you go. Okay, boom. Tighten that up. Alrighty, there you go. Well, that's what I'm talking about right there. All right, we'll set that aside. Move our bolts. All right. Lift carefully. Now I get to see it from the back here. Let me check the angle. Okay. Now you want to carefully take your toilet tank, line it up on the back here, got your gasket on. There you go. First washer, then bolt. And once you have one washer and bolt on, you can breathe a little bit easier, because we don't want this falling. No random earthquakes, please. Okay. Bolt number 2. And washer and bolt number 3. Okay. All right, so we want to tighten this pretty evenly. You know what? One thing I forgot to do was I forgot to put plumber's grease onto that gasket. All right, take 2, guys. Here we go. Let's go ahead and carefully set that there. Get some of our grease, and we want to grease up this fitting here. This gasket, excuse me. That will make sure it doesn't bind up when we're tightening it down. And I believe it will increase the life of this entire toilet, just like we have increased the life of it by rebuilding it. I think I said it before, I couldn't find this exact toilet online, but the ones that I could find were about $500. So, one, two, and three. Okay. At this point, you really want to evenly tighten everything. You don't want it to be too tight on one side. Okay. All right, so the last thing inside of this tank is going to be our flush handle. Remember, the flush handle has reverse threads. So we'll go ahead and slip her in right there. That looks right to me. And just to make this thing an entire genuine Kohler rebuilt toilet, well, I guess it won't be because I've got the Quirky valve on there and the Quirky flush valve, but that's all right. Quirky's a good brand. We're gonna go ahead and slip on our genuine Kohler. There we go. Pull it up a little bit more. Hi, sweetheart. I am repairing a toilet, baby. What are you doing?
Dad?
Yes, sweetheart.
What are you doing?
I'm repairing a toilet, baby.
Let me see.
You want to see? All right, I'll show you. Well, that was pretty cool. I got to show her how a toilet works. I also took some time to go ahead and shorten this chain. The chain here is kind of like one that you would use to pull your fan on and off on a ceiling fan or perhaps the light. So what I needed to do was I actually cut it a little bit shorter. You don't want to go too short because it's not very forgiving. I'm sure they make a part to extend it, but where are you going to get it at? And is it going to be meant to be sitting in water? So I went ahead, I shortened it, and there's a little slit here, see right there, that you can pop it through very carefully. So anyway, Now that it's the right size, we'll go ahead and put it on. Pop it on there. Go up. There we go. All right. Last thing, I decided to replace the toilet seat. I'm a fan of these Mr. Clean toilet seats that they have. They have at Home Depot. So the Mr. Clean toilet seats sit up quite a bit higher. I do like that about them. About how high? I would say maybe half an inch, somewhere around there. Now I want you guys to have a good shot of this while I put this on. It's not too complicated putting on a toilet seat, but if you've never done it before, well, watching a video may just help you do it. Some toilet seats are a little bit different. Of course, many different products have their own nuances. So, okay, this actually has some plastic here as well. So, we'll pop that off. Piece of plastic there. Okay. What do we have here? This looks like an insert. Oh, there we go. One. Okay. Take those. Slip them in. Take your plastic toilet bolts. Slip those in. Now you want to watch the tip of the toilet here and see where it adjusts to. And you tighten these from the bottom. Where's the other bolt? Oh, that's right. Okay. So take your bolt. Let's see if it's the same half-inch socket. Nope. Okay. So this one is exactly a 5/8. And you can tighten these from the bottom. All right. There we go. Toilet seat is on. There we go. Check it out, guys. All done. I really hope somebody appreciates this toilet. All right. So, last thing is you want to go ahead and take your 5/8 and tighten these bolts down. They're plastic, so the likelihood of them cracking the tank, not too high. Still though, you want to be cautious. Tighten it. Check how well that's set. Looks good to me. Go ahead and snap those back. Put your lid on, and you're all set. Hopefully somebody likes this toilet, you know. It was fun working on it, and I'm gonna go ahead and try to give it to Habitat for Humanity. If you know anyone who needs one, if they don't take it, let me know.